How are you feeling today? Let me know how you're feeling. And just quickly, you can click in the description below for free resources to prove to you that you are the creator of your reality. And we've got free meditations as well. And also, if you want to take advantage of our bundles is it's worth $250, but we give it to you for $99. So whether you're trying to manifest money or you're trying to manifest love, so it's all good, it's all awesome, it's all amazing. And check here. So now I want to talk about the simulation, right? The simulation, what is it and how to escape it. We know that Neville Goddard, yeah, you know, when you listen to Neville Goddard, when you, read Neville Goddard, he calls this reality dead. He says this is a fake dead reality. It's an echo. It's just a shadow, right? Now we have modern scientists that actually also agree that this reality is like a computer generated reality. It's not real. So what does that even mean? So now, have you ever had a dream and you so immersed in the dream, right? And it's like, whoa, you feel everything, you taste everything, you touch everything, and it's so real. And then you wake up and you're like, oh my God, it was just a dream, but when you had the dream, it was so real. Have you ever had that experience? Let me know in the comments below. And then, have you ever played a game and you so lost in the game? You're just so immersed and you're like, whoa, you feel one with the game. And then you realize that, hey man, I don't actually have to take this game so seriously because it's just a game. I don't have to feel some type of way because it's just a game. Now, notice the two experiences. So with the dream, you wake up and you're like, yeah, it's just a dream. This is just a dream. And with the game, you also wake up and you're like, no, man, this is just a game. I don't have to take it so seriously. And now, have you ever tried those VR headsets where you basically, experience whatever, let's just say like my wife and I, Kylie, we went to go and play putt-putt golf. And it was so real. And I mean, it was so freaking amazing, right? So as we had these VR headsets on, we were like one with that experience. And then there was like some holes that we had to hit where there was like quite high on a cliff. And then when you look down, it almost felt like, oh, you can fall and you can literally just freaking die. Have you ever had that experience? Now check this out. When you take off the headset, you like realize, oh, it was just a game. It's actually not real. When you have your dream, even though it's a nightmare, and you wake up, you're like, oh, it was just a dream. It's not real. When you play that game, it was just a game. It's not real. Now this reality is called the awakened dream, the simulation. So you can also wake up right now and see that this is not real. It's just a simulation. The only thing that is real is your awareness, your consciousness, your attention. That's the only thing is real. So your body is not real. The 3D is not real. Your body is just a projection. The 3D is just a projection. So even though you see solid, even though my body, is solid, but when you break it down, this is just energy and empty space. So it seems solid, but it's actually empty space. So in other words, it's a hologram. It's all just an illusion. But now when you wake up to the fact that this is actually just an illusion, why am I getting caught up in the illusion? Why am I taking it so seriously? When you wake up to the fact that this is just a projection, it's just a hologram, it's just a shadow, like Neville Goddard calls it, it's just an echo. It is not real. And especially if you say it out loud. You say it out loud, with conviction that this reality is not real. It's an illusion, and my body is also not real. It's an illusion. I do not consent to this reality because it's just an illusion. The only thing that is real is my awareness, my consciousness, my attention. That's the only thing that is real. So now when you have that experience, you now get to call the shots. Because when you wake up to the lie that this simulation is actually real, you then get to be in the driver's seat. Because most of us were born being NPCs. What's an NPC? It's just a non-programmable, character that basically just go on with life and that thinks that life actually happens to them. So in other words, they blame everything outside of themselves and they never come to realize that, hey, I'm actually the thing that is creating this reality. Now, when you do not wake up to the fact that this is a simulation, then you get to live by the rules of this simulation. Now, this simulation is governed by low vibrational programmable frequencies, which is fear, guilt, shame, and anxiety, depression. So all the low, frequencies is literally controlling this reality as we see. So if you're wondering what is hell, this is hell, my friend. This is hell, because when you just freaking turn on the news, when you go on social media, it's hell there, right? And it's not supposed to be that way. It's not. If you're like, why is this reality so freaking sad, evil, depressed? Why is that? If you do not wake up to the fact that this is just a simulation, then you are going to be in that default program. So life is just going to happen to you and you are not actually going to be in the driver's seat. You are now going to be an NPC and you're just going to go wherever the wind blows. But when you take control and you now take the joystick and you're like, oh, I am actually not the avatar. I am not the NPC. I am the one that is actually controlling this game. And how I control it is by my awareness, my imagination, my consciousness. So that's how I actually control this simulation. So you now get to call the shots. But it's very important for you to speak it out loud and say that this reality is not real, it's fake, it's an echo, it's a simulation, it's just like a game, it's just like a dream, and I'm now waking up to this BS and I'm taking my life back, I'm taking the power back. And then when whatever you say, think or feel is real, that's the only thing that is real. So you can literally take your power back right now and say, I no longer consent to this simulation. The only thing I consent to is my infinite awareness, which is me. That's the only thing. Now, boom, all of a sudden, when you say this to yourself, now all of a sudden, you are no longer basically swayed by the fake news media, the alternative news, celebrity gossip, and all the BS that's happening, outside of yourself. You now see it as a freaking game. You see it just as a dream because you've now woken up to your infinite nature. So you're no longer living life and say, oh, well, everything is happening to me. No. You now know that everything is happening for you. Because whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you feel is real, and it has to project later on. So everything that you are doing right now is going to project later on. Because how this simulation, is governed is we experiencing our residual thoughts and feelings. So in other words, Dr. Joe Dispenza, our brains is a record of the past. So we have 60 to 70,000 of thoughts a day. Now, 90% of those thoughts were exactly the same as the thoughts of yesterday and last week and last month. So we constantly living in the past, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with living in the past if it's a desirable past. If your past is, undesirable, miserable, and disempowering, then it's not going to be such a pleasant simulation for you to enjoy. Now, the fact that we now know that this reality is not real, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You enjoy it to the fullest by making sure you take back your power and you say that it's not real, it's fake, it's dead. The only thing is real is my awareness. My body is not real. The reality is not real. And now you get to enjoy, all these cool superpowers that we can tap into, like revision. You get to literally go back to a past memory that wasn't desirable, and you can rewrite that memory. And what will happen is it's going to change the past, but it's not really changing the past. What actually happens is, because you have infinite versions of yourself that exist right now, right? So the moment you change a memory, an undesirable memory of the past, you're actually switching to that desirable version of yourself. And so what it does, it actually switches you to a different timeline. And that's why revision, is so powerful, right? But I just wanted to share this video with you and to let you know not to give your power away to the simulation, because it's not real. So if you are being, controlled by the rules of the simulation, and you falling victim to the fake news media, alternative news media, celebrity gossip, and by your habits, especially if those habits are undesirable, you can literally just say out loud right now that this is not real. This simulation is not real. This reality is not real. My body is also not real. The only thing that is real is my infinite awareness, which is my true nature. Because you are not this body. When you leave the body, that's probably going to be another video. But, when you actually leave the body, if you do not wake up to the fact that this reality is not real, when you die, you leave your body, then you may actually get trapped by the 4D, the astral realm. And if you are religious and you subscribe to religious leaders such as Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, Krishna, whoever, that religious figure is going to meet you in the astral, in the 4D, and he's going to tell you that, hey, by the way, you used to cheat on your wife, you used to cheat on your husband, you lied, you did this, you did that. What are you going to do about it? I think you have to go back because you have to pay your karma. You have to go back. Now, these religious figures are just high-tech AI. Now, if you are not waking up to the fact that this is a simulation, you may get trapped. So when you leave the body, they're going to send you back to this planet. And then next thing you know, you're here for 1,000 lives because you're now trapped in the reincarnation cycle. And it's just a never ending experience because you haven't woken up to the fact that this reality is not real. 3D is not real, 4D is not real, 5D is not real. All these D's, they just mean death. The only thing that is real is your inness, which is source, which is the scientists called it infinite, potential. It's literally you leaving 3D, 4D, 5D, all these Ds, and just basically chill at the void, where you actually, like I always remind you that you are all that is, all that was and all that ever will be. You are the infinite awareness that is having a human experience, and the human experience is just an illusion for you to enjoy to the fullest. So you want to take your power back and say, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this simulation to the fullest. I'm going to make sure it's a blissful one. I'm no longer going to subscribe to anything that is disempowering and that is taking my power back. I'm going to take the control of this game, of the simulation, and I am going to control it. I now get to say what's going to happen. Because why? You're no longer basically controlled by the default program of the simulation, like I said, which is just fear, guilt, and shame. You know, you are now basically just chilling with your authentic self, which is the infinite awareness. So the message for you is take your power back. The fact that you are watching this video, it means that you are ready to wake up from the dream, to wake up from the simulation, to wake up from this computer generated reality, which is not real. Having said that, keep smiling and